got a perimeter breach.
Multiple agents down and... Whoa. I got visual on the intruder. He's a Caucasian male, mid-20s, with really great hair.
Excuse me?
It's an accurate description.
Hey, I'm Derek.
And I'm Noah, and you're listening to a new episode of A Bite Of. I was going to say new season. It's not. We're just starting. Jeez Louise.
Where we take our current favorite pop culture obsession and enjoy it one nibble at a time.
That's right. We did that part right. I can never get these things right.
Like, if you ever ad-lib or something like that, I can't really react because if I don't hold on to the next word I'm supposed to say, then it all comes tumbling out of my head and I have no idea what's going on.
Well, apologies ahead of time. I just realized I don't even have my drink with me. Man.
Oh my God, hydration!
It's going to be one dry episode.
I'm just going to take a little sip of my water.
That's fine. Whatever. All right. Well, as always, make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at A Bite of Pod. We also have a Patreon and Apple subscriptions. So if you like us, want to support the show in any way, and also get some free stuff and bonus episodes, you can do it that way. And speaking of, this episode is brought to you by a brand new Patreon member,
Woo-hoo!
Cami Collins.
Cammy, you should win a Grammy for supporting and singing our praises.
Oh, that one was nice. Your support has me fallens over with admiration.
Oh, beautiful.
I mean, yours was an actual word. Mine.
We usually do vice versa, so we're keeping you guys on your toes.
But thank you so much, Cami. Hopefully I said your name correctly. But thank you. You know, it's always nice. I know you follow us on Twitter, and you've been super nice as always on there. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And also, by the time this episode comes out, this will be a year of A Bite Of. So we have something in the plans working. So
Listen, for those of you who have been with us since the beginning, you've been through it all with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, TV shows, couple of movies, maybe some bonus episodes. You've also been with us when I had back surgery.
Oh, yeah. The beginning of the show, you were laying on the couch because you had back surgery.
Recording on my back, like trying to throw my voice at a mic on a table. So thank you so much for sticking with us.
Yeah, if you have never listened to our first season, because one, it was on Twilight, and if you don't care about that, one, I would, because it's funny, and we don't really care about Twilight either. It was a lot of fun. But it sounds a little different.
Yeah. And then the second season, Turn of the Screw and Bly Manor is when I had my surgery.
Yeah.
So that was wild.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't during your back was hurt. You were still on the couch.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what made you get surgery.
Yeah, but then like we did the Turn of the Screw episodes like back to back to back, and then I had surgery, and then we did the Bly Manor episodes.
Yeah. Fun
Here
times.
we are now.
Yeah, fun times. Speaking of, and wouldn't you think on the 1-year anniversary of A Bite Of, we started with Twilight. There's articles coming out that Miss Stephanie Meyer will be writing 2 more Twilight-ish
Apparently.
books.
I mean, like, so she took like a decade break, and then she wrote Midnight Sun, and she was probably like, oh, damn, I can make hella ton of money. All right, I'll give you whatever you want. Here's 2 more.
But I call bullshit on that. She wrote that years ago, and it got leaked, and then she was like, oh, I'm not going to release it, and then she released it way later. After
Noah,
fact.
do you not remember the research we did 1 year ago
No.
about how it was too dark of a mind for her to live in, so she had to take a break, and then she pushed through for us and gave it to us?
Okay, whatever. This is not a Twilight season. I'm done talking about her and her freaking books.
You brought it up.
Anyway, whatever. Let's get into the episode. God damn it.
He said, Derek, stop talking about the thing I started talking about. How dare you?
People didn't click on this episode for us to talk about Twilight.
I'm sorry. All right. So before we get into our newest episode of What If, let us take a look back at What If episode 2. What if T'Challa became a Star-Lord?
Still not a fan of that.
You're not a fan of Star-Lord?
No.
I know. My what ifs.
Yeah, too many what ifs in one sentence.
Not enough what ifs.
Okay.
Life is full of what ifs.
Oh my God, you said it way too many times now. There's an embargo on how many times you could say it.
No, you can't limit me. my creativity.
Just edit it out.
No! I have no power. As a boy, T'Challa is accidentally abducted from Wakanda by Yondu's crew and becomes the Robin Hood of space, using his thievery for good and also inspiring Thanos to not snap away half of everyone. Nebula takes T'Challa and the gang on a mission to grab the Embers of Genesis from the Collector. Afterwards, he is finally reunited with his family in Wakanda, who he thought were no longer alive. We are left with the cliffhanger of Ego finding Peter Quill on Earth.
Yeah, this is the running question I still have is, are the first half of this What If season, is it setting up all these stories for them to come together and to have second parts, or are we not going to get second parts to these until the second season?
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. There's 10 episodes in this show season thing, so I don't know.
I know. We never know what direction they're going in. Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure they'll find a way to tie it together, but whether or not it's this season remains to be seen.
Or only the watcher knows.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, spoiler warning: everything we're going to be talking about now takes place in the third episode of What If. So, spoilers, and make sure you stay after the show, when we're done talking about this, because we have a segment and stuff.
Okay, let us officially take a bite of What If Episode 3. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes?
Then it wouldn't have its mightiest heroes.
And done. End of episode.
All right. So before we get into the actual episode, I'm always curious to see who they get back for these episodes, the actors, and are they MCU actors that we know, or are they new people? Why are they doing this? Who knows? I'm very confused. So everybody pretty much comes back except for stepping in for Scarlett Johansson is Lake Bell. And if you know who Lake Bell is, they voice Poison Ivy in the spectacular DC animated series, Harley Quinn. Highly recommend that show if you're liking Marvel's animated ventures.
Oh, yeah.
DC has plenty of them, and I will give them that. Harley Quinn is amazing. I believe the third season is coming out soon or is being wrapped up. I don't know. Lake Bell's amazing. I did feel like she did a good job of emulating Natasha.
I felt like she couldn't have as much fun with the voice acting because she was trying to fit the mold of that sort of Scarlett Johansson tone.
She has that smoky voice which I feel like is a good pick for somebody to replace Scarlett Johansson if they're going to voice it. Also, and I didn't catch this until I was like, wait, is that Robert Downey Jr.? It is not Robbie Downey Jr. Robbie Downey Jr.
Robbie Downey Juju.
It is Mike Wingert, and he's played Iron Man before and some of the other animated stuff that they've had. So it was kind of an easy pick for them. And the last two, Stephanie Panicello? Something like that. Who has done voice work in Resident Evil, is playing Betty Ross, and General Ross is Mike McGill, not William Hurt. So those are the people that are different. I think they did a good job. This is the one episode where the people that were different didn't seem too far off. Also, Liv Tyler, good luck trying to get her to play Betty Ross again.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like in the first one, we only had the one replacement. In the last episode, I felt like there was the one for Drax who wasn't really in it that much. This one was a couple. I don't know. I guess getting these people back, they all have busy schedules.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I have no idea why. I mean,
well,
not Natasha, that's not her name. Scarlett Johansson is still in the circuit, so it was weird that she didn't. Maybe she was filming at the time, but it's voice acting doesn't necessarily have to happen when the animation is happening. Yeah. So I don't know, whatever. I didn't decide this, so maybe one of you guys can tell us why. All right, so into the episode. Let's get into it. The latest episode of What If begins on a Monday during Iron Man 2, just as Nick Fury attempts to recruit Tony Stark into the Avengers Initiative at the donut shop. Tony eating in the big donut. I'm glad it was in here because it is one of my favorite shots in Marvel because it just encompasses a lot of what to expect from Marvel and the MCU. I love it. However, when Black Widow injects Iron Man with the serum that will allow him to fight his illness, he drops dead.
Whoops.
What? When I saw that, I was like, Jesus Christ.
I like that they started off giving us a little bit of nostalgia by showing Tony Stark in the donut, eating a donut. And then they're a minute later,
Dead.
Here's your new story.
Dead.
Dunzo.
Yeah. It was pretty abrupt. It was pretty quick. Then the Watcher explains that while the events of Nick Fury's big week were the catalyst that would form the Avengers, the reality of this what if the world lost its mightiest heroes explores a different route. And what would happen if they all died? This episode is in reference to a Marvel Comics Fury's Big Week. There's one literally called that. And it came out in, it was for the 2012 Avengers movie. It literally just explained that, like, oh, all the events that happened for him recruiting them, like Iron Man 2 and Thor and all of that, happened in the same week. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, it happened in the same week and it was him recruiting them. So this was based on that, but it was also a retelling of it as well, if it went a different route.
So there was 1 week where the world was in complete chaos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. On Tuesday, Agent Coulson finds Mjolnir in New Mexico, while Fury is overseeing Black Widow's transfer to Alexander Pierce, the Hydra overlord hiding at S.H.I.E.L.D.
Wink, wink.
Which they don't know at the time. But as S.H.I.E.L.D.'s strike team, led by Brock Rumlow, a.k.a. Pre-Crossbones, takes her away, Fury informs Natasha that he knows she's not involved. So it's like she's getting arrested for killing Iron Man, even though she was like, what's happening with you?
Also, by the way, I mean, S.H.I.E.L.D. gave her the needle. Why are we? What about Fury? Why aren't we thinking Fury did it?
Fury can never do no wrong.
Oh, give me a break. Yeah, but then he gives her the little, like, secret slip. Like, here, take this, do some research.
Yeah,
before she jumps in the truck.
I mean, he believes in her, so he's not going to think that she just all of a sudden became an assassin again to kill fucking Playboy Tony Stark.
The old Red Sparrow training kicked in again.
So Natasha ends up making quick work of her captors and escapes. And when I say quick work, I mean lightning fast punches, because she punches very fast in this episode. Yeah. Back in New Mexico, Hawkeye and Fury discuss the hammer just as Thor arrives, looking like he just got done with the Pantene commercial.
Caucasian, male, mid-20s with really great hair.
The events play out similar to the events of Thor, with Hawkeye taking the high ground to keep Thor in his sights as he goes to lift the hammer. Although things play out just a little bit differently. Clint's arrow hits Thor in the heart. Whoopsies. And again, the murderer claims he didn't do it. He did not fire the shot. But when Fury goes in to talk to Clint, he's dead. Bye-bye. I mean, oh well, like, sorry, Hawkeye. He's the one, I don't know. He's the one that I'm just like, eh.
He has a family, okay? It means something to them.
Everybody has a family. Whether they'll miss them or not is not my problem. Just saying.
Rude.
All right. At this point in the episode, I'm liking the ride. It's very fast paced. They could probably go with the second part, but I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's like we got bits and pieces from the other movies and some of the origin stuff, and then it's moving forward.
Yeah, this feels a little bit more in the line of the first episode with Captain Carter, where it kind of followed the storyline of Captain America, but just with Peggy. And this one is like taking bits and pieces from all the other movies, but like creating different plot points. Whereas the one with T'Challa was a completely new story.
Yeah, it was just really the beginning.
Yeah.
And that was it. So on Wednesday, Natasha heads to Culver University in the Avengers civilian disguise of Shades and Hoodie to talk to Betty Ross, who she knows can help her uncover who killed Tony. Okay, it's been years since Betty has been in the MCU. Like, where is she now? What happened to her? I know that one of the Russo brothers said after Infinity War that she was one of the people that was blipped. But what about leading up to that? And what about now? Like, I'm curious if we're going to see her in She-Hulk, because Mark Ruffalo is going to make an appearance in She-Hulk. I would be curious if she does, because her dad's also going to be in it too. Her dad's been in the MCU this whole time.
Was she a romantic interest for the Hulk? Or just someone who worked with the Hulk?
Canonly, yes.
Right.
Like, she is his Lois.
Right. So it's just like, it's interesting that she did disappear, and then they tried to make that whole
Don't. I hate it.
flirty
No.
thing
No.
happen.
With Natasha? No.
Yeah.
It's awful. Dumb.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like they removed the actual love interest and then forced some other sort of love interest story to happen.
Yeah, well, it's dumb because they also could have had another very smart person to help with some things, but they just didn't. Like, also, who cares if Liv Tyler couldn't do it? You recasted the Hulk.
Yeah.
Edward Norton's not the Hulk anymore, so I wonder
Right.
if she does come back, will they recast her? Probably.
I do love Liv Tyler, though.
Oh, I love her too, but I just don't see her coming back after all this time.
Where has she been?
I don't know. What's she doing?
Where in the world is Liv Tyler?
Where is her character and where is she in real life?
Mystery.
Mystery.
This is the real mystery of this episode.
So after Betty discovers a small particle was the cause of Iron Man's death, Fury calls Natasha to tell her Barton's dead and warns her that the members of the Avengers Initiative are being targeted. Thank you.
I think
Captain
that
Obvious.
Nick Fury really needs to work on, I don't know, some interpersonal skills. Like you're calling someone up to tell them that their very good friend has been murdered.
Yeah.
And he's like, ooh, bad news. Barton's dead. I know you guys were close. Bye.
Mhm. Yeah, and yeah. I mean, I do like how he was like, are you in secure location? She's like, not currently. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you this information anyway.
Yeah.
What if she was ordering like a hot dog or something and you're like, oh, by the way, the guy that you did all those missions with and was in the subway vent, which we knew from Black Widow, for days or whatever, he's dead.
Yep.
Sorry about it.
Bye.
I do want to say that it is interesting to see another Avenger that we know really well in this scene, because this scene at the college and everything does take place in the Incredible Hulk movie,
Mhm.
which was really the start of the MCU, but there was no other MCU characters in it. Seeing Black Widow in this, even though it's animated, it's kind of cool. It's
Mhm.
kind of nice. It's like, oh, what could have been,
Yeah.
maybe.
It's like reimagining these scenes that happened already
Mhm.
with bringing, because it's like, that's the thing, right? With the MCU movies, is like, there's always at least one other Avenger
yeah, it's
that
like
shows up.
building to the next thing.
Yeah.
Or there's like a cameo or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in that one, in the Hulk movie, that didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. During a double macchiato coffee run, Coulson sees the Bifrost arrive on Earth and bringing Loki with tons and tons and tons of forces from Asgard. He is wielding the Casket of Ancient Winters, which he used in Thor in the movie, and that's how he found out that he was a frost giant. It was like a confirmation because it's from the frost giants and you're only able to use it if you're a frost giant. Sorry, Loki.
Only the frost giants can wield it.
Just as Fury heads out to confront them, Natasha calls from Virginia, where Thunderbolt Ross has arrived to take out the Hulk. Banner is promptly shot by a mysterious bullet, which nobody knows where it came from, and loses control, while Loki lays waste to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s forces. I also can't believe in this moment, because Loki's holding the Casket of Ancient Winters, and Samuel L. Jackson is like, what's in the box? I'm like, really? You went to 7?
I know.
It's probably a head.
It's Pepper.
It's
Pepper Potts.
Oh no!
Listen. Stony Tark died, so Pepper Potts
Yeah.
died.
Probably it's like preserved in some goop.
Ice scoop.
As the Hulk smashes Ross's forces, he explodes, even though he can't die, making the death of another would-be Avenger. This part, like, he looked like a big green fart. Or like a green sea sponge. I don't know if they come in the green variety, but it just like...
Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah, it was
Gone
like
wrong.
he had to explode because his heart got like super enlarged.
Yeah.
But I guess they couldn't show blood or anything because I'm pretty sure this isn't rated PG-13 or whatever. But
Maybe
yeah.
the Hulk just has green blood.
He might, but he did, like, it didn't like explode and then fall. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
like bink.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like an explosion of bodily goop. It was an air explosion.
Right.
Yeah. So farting,
Yeah.
giant fart cloud.
Yeah. Or sea sponge. Green. Anyway, I wonder if the Abomination was there also, because this is when the Abomination came into the movie, but we didn't see him. So I'm curious, like, was because of some of these events that the Abomination isn't there? I don't know.
Where is everyone?
Yeah, where is everyone?
Where is everyone?
In New Mexico, Sif tells Loki to stand down, and eventually Loki gives Fury one day to find his brother's killer. Natasha goes to investigate the Avengers Initiative files. I do want to say, can we just like admire Coulson for 1 second? Because we kind of skimmed over some of his like brilliant lines in this, but Coulson's dialogue in this episode is terrific. Like Clark Gregg always nails delivery. If you like him and just like him as a person or an actor, I would watch The New Adventures of Old Christine.
Oh my God, so good.
He's so dumb in that show, but he's so funny.
Richard.
He's so good. But I do love that, like, how his description of Thor, like, sir, he's gorgeous, and his password confession, hashtag Steve, I heart Steve 0704. Come on.
But who's Steve?
Steve Rogers.
But just the legend of Steve Rogers. He just
Yeah,
has
because
love
he
for
was
him.
like an American hero and also...
Oh, right. He had like the cards and everything, right? Got it.
Yeah, he was a fanboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just like any of us. Like, if I was Coulson in that situation, I mean, I have memorabilia around now. I would be... My password... I'm not going to say what my password is to my things. But yes, I am much like a Coulson.
I'm just like, I just never thought of a hashtag and a password.
I haven't either.
Interesting,
Yeah.
right?
What is it? I mean, Coulson's a trendsetter now.
I mean, maybe he's the one that started hashtags.
Could be.
Coulson.
I mean, he's dead, but it's fine.
In one of these universes, though, he survived.
Yeah.
And he became the Twitter overlord or something like that.
Right. So back to Natasha in this dark file room. A invisible assailant attacks her. I wrote these sentences and then I split them up to talk about Coulson. And I'm like, I didn't rewrite that to make it make sense, but you know where I'm going.
Here's just a hard smash cut to this scene again.
We can assume, though, that the person that logged in that died 2 years ago is Hope Van Dyne, the one that Black Widow mentions before getting attacked by this person, because she is dead at this point. And that's really the only person I could think of.
How do we know she's dead at this point, though?
Because Nick Fury goes to her grave.
After this, he goes to her grave.
Yeah, but they didn't bury her in one night.
But when did she die?
2 years ago.
But how did we know that?
We don't know the exact time, but Hank Pym, the guy killing everybody, is killing him because of his daughter's death.
I'm just asking because you said like that's who I thought it was, and it's like, but how? Because we didn't know that she was dead. We didn't know that it was Hank Pym. He didn't go to the grave. I'm just wondering what your sleuthing skills were that led you there.
Because we know the end, and we know that Hope died, and she was part of S.H.I.E.L.D. And when Natasha went into the system, I was like, how did somebody that died 2 years ago just log in couple days ago or whatever? It has to be Hope. Who else have they mentioned that's died that was part of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Okay.
What? What? You made me second guess it. Whatever. It's fine. The episode still stays the same. I do want to say, though, this part where she's getting attacked by this invisible person was actually kind of scary. Like, also, how are they going to kill Natasha again? Can we please get a what if Kevin Feige left Natasha alone and she lived happily ever after with Yelena? Can we get that what if, please?
I feel like if Doctor Strange were to look at all of the outcomes, he's like, there are 50 billion paths, and in none of them does she survive.
I hate it. She got her own character poster for this episode, and she dies.
They're like, well, she was in it the most out of all the Avengers.
No, Nick Fury was in it the most.
Yeah, Nick Fury, yeah.
Should have just stayed with his.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the sudden deaths of the Avengers were all equally shocking. But I still think hers, like, even though it happened, it was still more, like, the hardest emotionally.
Well, also, it was the hardest to watch. Hers was the longest. Everybody else got just, like, shot and stuff, and Hulk exploded, but that happened in, like, a second.
Yeah.
She literally, we're watching her get beat to death.
Yeah. I mean, she did go out fighting, of course. Every single time.
And left a crisp voicemail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe because of, like, her movie and her swan song and, like, all that stuff. It's just, like, I didn't have any feelings when Tony died in this episode or when Thor and everybody else, but I was just like, really? Natasha again? I think because I'm still salty that she died in the first place, I'm like, she should not have died,
I'm with you.
but that's fine.
I'm with you.
Whatever. Hopefully she comes back. Anyway, she's able to leave Fury a message while getting tossed around like Danny threw herself about in a closets in Bly Manor. Remember that?
Oh my God. Well, the kids locked her in.
No, from the book, when we did the book. How she would go into closets and like yell at herself. She would go into the pantries and be like frustrated and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was weird.
She was weird.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the part in Bly Manor when the kids lock her in the closet and she just goes cuckoo crazy,
Also that.
you know?
I mean, Spectacle Ghost was behind her.
Oh, googly eyes.
But the message that was left was hope is at the bottom of all the murders, which prompts Nick Fury to go talk to Loki. I do want to say I was very confused because the way that this actress was saying hope, it made me think that she was saying Hulk. And I got even more confused because I was like, he just turned into a sea sponge.
Guys. So I was confused because she says, Fury, it's hope. It's all about hope. And I was like, well, that's a beautiful message.
But that's your dying message?
It's all about hope, you guys.
Yeah.
Come together in hope.
That
But
would not
then
be my dying message.
When you watch it with the closed captioning, it's a capital H.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a name.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Mhm.
Which sort of spoils it if you watch it the first time, right?
It spoils it if you can understand what she's saying. Yes.
She was getting beat to death.
No, it's not her. It's
You're made
the
at Lake
actresses.
Bell. Lake Bell.
It's Lake Bell because when Nick Fury said it, I was like, oh, did he say hope? Why did she say Hulk and he said hope? I'm like, what?
You're just mad at Lake Bell because of her character in Grace and Frankie.
Oh yeah, I forgot she was in that show.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fury then takes a casual trip to Hope Van Dyne's grave in San Francisco, where he finds a distraught Hank Pym. But he's donning a yellow jacket suit, which is no bueno.
Can I ask a question?
He's literally raising his hand. Yes, we're the only two people
I'm
here.
a good student.
Yeah.
So the yellow jacket suit,
Uh-huh.
this is a real thing.
Uh-huh.
And is this something that Hank Pym has worn as a good guy or a bad guy?
Bad guy. It's a villain for Ant-Man.
Oh, but is it Pym?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a completely different guy.
Oh,
Wait a second. Have you never watched Ant-Man?
I have watched Ant-Man.
You don't remember the guy in the yellow suit?
No, well, I'm questioning if I know who Hope Van Dyne is.
She's Kate.
She's Wasp.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't die in the real movies, right?
No, that's the what if situation.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Because you were acting like before and you were talking, you were like, yeah, it's her. She's dead. I'm like, she's dead?
No.
I'm so confused.
Oh my
She's
God.
she fights Thanos. I know it. She flies in.
That's the what if.
So like, okay, so I have to say something. I have seen all of the movies, but
I know you have.
But
That's
Noah's ability to memorize
useless
every single thing
information.
that happens in them is mind-blowing. I, on the other hand, enjoy it in the moment and then am busy doing a giant puzzle in my head when I watch these shows because I'm like, oh, I know who that is. And then you'll say something, I'm like, I don't know who that is.
I mean,
But I do, but I don't.
Yeah, this is kind of like a tangent-y thing, but this is what I was talking about with the MCU getting too confusing. And if it's like, I don't mind that they keep building on top of it because I just have all this knowledge and I read comics, so it's easier for me to just point out people or recognize names and stuff like that. But like, it's a lot. Like, I mean, we're going to be going past like 25 movies at some point, and it's like, holy crap. Like, are you going to expect people 30 years down the line to watch the first one?
Totally. You've been steeped in this knowledge basically your entire life.
My whole life I remember, yes.
Right. And so it's like you're the expert and you represent the expert, right, on our podcast. I represent the novice, the casual, and the entertainer, like the person who is entertained by the movies.
Property.
Yeah. So it's just like, but that's the thing is that like I feel like there's a very large amount of people like you who do know this backstory, but there's also a huge amount of people that just want to watch it for the entertainment factor. And it's like, is everybody as confused as I am sometimes?
I don't know. I mean,
okay, answer carefully and say, Derek, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. That's it.
I actually didn't know what the right answer was there. That's why I was like, What do
Don't make.
say?
I feel like it's like I'm supposed to remember all this stuff, which seems difficult.
No. Okay, but the thing is, it's like somebody that doesn't read this stuff or play the games or is constant. Like, I have a Twitter account that is specifically for comic books, so nothing but on that Twitter feed is all about comics. So it's
Right.
like I'm constantly just seeing these names and like I'm able to pinpoint them. You watch the shows and you watch the movies, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't expect you to be like, how do you not know that Hope Van Dyne did not die?
That's what I felt like. That's what I felt like. Because she didn't die. She didn't die.
She did in this.
She died in this universe, but we did not know that.
We did.
We didn't.
No, we did after the fact.
I'm talking about watching it the first time.
All right. Then Hank reveals that after his daughter's death, he swore to become a revenger and get revenge against Fury by destroying his life's work and killing all the Avengers. The two fight, but something is clearly off because Fury is swatting Hank away with very great.
Swatting away
ease.
like a fly on a cow pie or something like that,
Wow, look at that.
or a fly on a picnic.
Is that an analogy?
There's something, but I think I used it wrong. You don't swat flies away from cow pies. They just do their things on poop.
Yeah, why would you swat him away from
Oh my
poop?
God, this is the second episode in a row we've talked about poop.
You brought it up.
And farts. You brought up farts.
It turns out that Loki tagged along with Fury on his mission and helped him defeat Pym using magics.
When in doubt, using magics.
But that's not all. We get to Friday.
Bum, bum.
It was very Law and Ordery. Every
Yeah.
time like the thing would come up and I was like, what is that noise?
I liked it. They're like, this is the week, y'all. And we're going through it. And it's going to be bad.
Right.
Yeah.
We'd think it'd all be happily ever after from there. But now there are 5 dead Avengers and a major threat to Earth. Loki. Loki wants to stay a little longer, and by that he means he wants to conquer Earth in one day, which he does. Fury goes to Plan B, Team B, to save the world, recruiting Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, and finding Steve Rogers to try and once again assemble the Avengers. I tried so hard to make that alliterate, but I was like, oh no, it's literally just Avengers Assembled. There is no alliteration in there. You know what I mean?
Well, it technically is alliteration because AA, but the sounds aren't
But it's
the
not
same.
fun.
No.
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 Mm-mm.
I will say that it seemed like they had those coffins at the ready.
Oh my God.
They're like, you know what? Let's JIC get some nice titanium coffins with their symbols on them real quick.
They weren't an Avenger yet. How do you know what their symbols are?
Also, wouldn't the folks of Asgard want Thor's body back?
Well, Nick Fury did seem kind of hesitant when Loki was like, I want his whole body. But also, Loki never left. He stayed. So,
What about Sif? Lady Sif.
yeah, I don't know.
Take it
That-
back.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that one. I don't know.
It just seemed poor taste. Poor taste.
Well, it's in poor taste for us to see Black Widow die for a 3rd time.
I'm with you.
Come on.
Don't yell at me.
Or is it 2 times? I don't know. I feel like I see her die a lot. and
3.
I don't like it.
5?
No.
No, 2.
2.
Because she didn't die in Black Widow.
It
we saw her
felt
grave.
like it. Yeah, we saw her grave. That's what I mean. Okay, so
Yeah.
we've seen her dead 3 times.
Yeah.
Or at least a tombstone of some sort.
Ugh.
Whatever. But yeah, cliffhangery stuff. What's happening with Loki? He can't be up to any good. I mean, he did help Nick Fury, but it's always for his own
Oh,
gain.
yeah.
So I wouldn't trust it.
And since the Avengers are no more, is it just going to be called the Caps?
No. Oh. Okay, good question. Since these Avengers that are dead, you can't pick them, who would you choose to be your Avengers team? Pick 5.
Oh.
6.
Oh. Well,
Pick
listen.
6.
6. 6.
There was like over 100 Avengers in Endgame.
6. Okay. So we got to get Black Panther.
Okay.
Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
Hello. You know who else I'm throwing on there? Agatha. Just because I can.
You can't.
Yes, I can.
She is not an Avenger.
Yes.
No.
Ah!
Absolutely
Excuse me,
not.
this is what if? What if Agatha wasn't evil and helped Scarlet Witch recognize her powers in a wonderful fashion?
Okay, but she did help her recognize her powers, but in a terrible
I
fashion.
said in a wonderful. Okay, so that's 3, and then you gotta have Viz. Gotta have Viz.
Keep going.
And then oh, Falcon. Duh.
Is he Falcon or is he?
No, because Cap's coming. Cap. Oh, he's not the Winter Soldier.
No. You make your own team. It doesn't have to have Captain Marvel or Captain America. That's what I was saying. You can't use any of the ones that died in this episode.
Yeah, I was doing it.
Okay.
You confused me, and then I said the wrong thing. Because then I was also thinking about Bucky, and then I thought you were going to question me, and then you're like, is he who? And it's like, no, Falcon wouldn't be Captain America yet, because Captain America is still frozen as Captain America.
Oh, he could be whichever one you want.
Falcon, but
Okay.
with the real red wing.
Okay, fine.
For realsies.
Mm-hmm.
And, wait, they have to have been an Avenger?
They have to be an Avenger. Yes, correct.
Oh. War Machine.
This is an odd team. You were real excited for the first 3, and you're like, shit. Okay, who can I pull to be in there?
Whatever. No, I'm bringing in Megan.
She's not in the MCU.
Hey, guys.
Okay.
Megan.
That's a callback to one of our segments in the other one. So just
Mystery Marvels. Which one? Who are yours?
I was getting to it. I was just waiting for you to be done talking.
I don't need the attitude. That's for sure.
All right. Of course, Doctor Strange is always going to be on my team. Vision, because you need some tech guy. Let's go Black Panther. I like the idea of Black Panther being on there.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is hard.
You can't spring this on me. Unprepared. Laughing over there.
What? Let's go with Monica Rambeau because she's in the MCU.
Okay.
She's there.
Okay.
We gotta have her. I need 2 more. Spider-Man. Come on. I'm gonna have Spider-Man in there.
Spidey.
He's amazing.
Sure.
And Ant-Man. We gotta put Ant-Man in there. Scott Lang Ant-Man.
He doesn't exist.
I'm not doing it based on this episode.
No, you said in this universe it has to be based on.
Yeah, the ones that died are off limits, but
I think I'm just overthinking the assignment.
it's fine. I mean, whatever. You tell us who you would pick as your Avengers team. Or it could be anybody. In the comics. Let's just open it up for you. Make it easy. Who would be your 6th Avengers team? Because we don't even know the own assignment that we assigned ourselves.
R.I.P. to the folks in the coffins in this episode, though.
All right. Good episode. I like it. I do know this is the last episode that all the media outlets and everything saw, all the critics. So everything after this, nobody has seen.
New to the masses.
New to the masses.
I think I saw something that Doctor Strange might be in the new one.
Oh, this coming one?
Yeah.
I hope so.
That'd be cool.
I want him in a lot of things.
Well, you got him in that Marvel game, the new Marvel game.
Oh, yeah. Marvel Future Resistance, Resilience, Revenging. I can't remember what the third word is, but yeah, it's really good. Play it. Anyway, sorry. But go on. Is it your segment time? I don't know. Yeah.
Sure. It is my segment time. So here's another installment of Things That Make You Go, What? So many nations on the planet have a national animal. Right? One that they think represents them best for a plethora of reasons. In the US, bald eagle. China, panda. Australia, kangaroo. Scotland, unicorn.
Fun.
Ooh. So in Celtic mythology, the unicorn is a symbol of purity and innocence, as well as masculinity and power. Many tales of the unicorn were associated with chivalry and dominance, and may be the reason it was chosen. Yeah. It was first seen on the royal coat of arms of William I in the 12th century. The unicorn can be found on some of Scotland's most important landmarks and remains a symbol of the country today, even having National Unicorn Day on April 9th.
Whoa.
Right?
What happens?
I don't know.
You're like, I saw it.
I thought it was an interesting fact.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just ride unicorns around.
They must.
They have to have unicorns.
Right. So why settle for an animal here on Earth when you can reach back into legend for your nation's symbol?
True.
I just love the fact that they were like, okay, what do we have here? You know what? Let's just do the unicorn.
I wish like more countries would do that. Like, why is the United States not a chimera? That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Come on. Because it doesn't know what it is, and it's all just jumbled and mixed up.
We really could have had fun. Missed opportunities across the globe.
Yeah. All right, guys. We have so much coming out, doing stuff, and we're also planning the wedding, and it's coming into high gear. So definitely be patient with us in the coming weeks, because things are getting crazy on our side. Because lots of things. And,
Life stuff.
Yeah. Buying a house. Getting married.
Being in other people's weddings.
Oh, geez.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. All right. This episode was a little short, but this episode was so fast.
Well, that's the thing, is that this episode was so fast. It was just like we said, it was like murder.
Yeah, I feel like for a good whodunit, it really needs to like take its time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's some mystery. And then 2 minutes later, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
we know who it is.
I guess it was like, well, we have 30 minutes to kill 6 people.
This one did not feel like it was 30 minutes. It felt like it was 15.
It was, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just, like you're saying, nothing was able to really settle and live. It just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so figure 6 deaths in 30 minutes, that's 5 minutes a death.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Without anything in between.
That sounds like math.
Yeah. I mean, Tony Stark died in 2 minutes, so I don't know what they did with his extra 3.
Yeah, he died within like the first 3 lines.
That was the
had.
Loki stuff at the end.
All right. Well, until next time, guys. See you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to A Bite of, artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at A Bite of Pod and on Facebook at A Bite of. If you have questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can email us at abiteofpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate and review to spread the word. Hope you join us next time on A Bite of. Bye.